Hi, I'm Peter. I work here at Scrambled Eggs. I've been here for a couple of years now. I don't know exactly how many. Well, like a lot of people that come here, it turned out that my girlfriend at the time was Italian. Uh, I discovered that the easiest way to come and stay here in Italy was to teach English. Of course, I had studied English as my major at university. I did the training course through Cambridge to get the CELTA, and then the very long process of obtaining a visa to come and work here. But that's the primary reason. The thing I like most about teaching, do teaching first and then translating, uh, because they're slightly different. So the thing with teaching is it's nice to meet a bunch of different people from different backgrounds, although most of the people here are Italian. So, so a little bit less, although the Italians are quite nice. Um, Teaching is also fairly challenging depending on who your student or students are. And it's much different than translating, which is a completely different beast. I prefer the translating more, to be honest, just because it has a lot more nuances that I enjoy because I enjoy reading and writing. So trying to also figure out the tone and the audience that the person who wrote the original document is aiming for is quite fun, in my opinion. Uh, that's a completely different presentation. My hometown has a very small population. Of course, in the United States, everybody sort of lives in their own space. So my family has a house, and then the next family has a house. None of the homes are really connected. So in some way, you grow up. Growing up in a small community in the US is much different than growing up in a small community in Italy. Of course, I had a bunch of neighbors and kids that were the same age. Actually, the 3 or 4 best friends that I have now are still the same as when I was growing up. My hometown itself was quite small. There was no supermarket, no gas station. You had to have a car to drive to go to a different town to get that kind of stuff. There are so many. I think the thing that I miss most when I'm here in Italy is going to a diner, like a regular American diner, to get like a waffle or even just like a decent plate of scrambled eggs. Not to mention the school name, but it's quite difficult to find that kind of stuff here with the higher standard for food that's in this country, let's say. But diners, definitely. So I think it was in high school. Yeah, it was in high school, and it was summertime. And all of my friends wanted to stay up and play video games. This was, sort of before online games were a big thing, so everybody was in the same house. So it was more or less like a big sleepover. I managed to stay awake for 38 hours, I think. That was tough. I remember seeing, like, I imagined that there was a bear going up and down the stairs, and then I think at some point I just fell asleep on the floor. Math. I would definitely like to be better at math, not just because it seems it's so connected to every other thing, and I never really paid attention to it in school, mostly because my teachers never found a way to make it interesting. So I was never able to really focus or to understand the more difficult concepts after, I don't know, I got up to like calculus 1 and that was about it. I know the standard is much higher here in Italy, and most people stop after like algebra in the US. It's definitely a cat. So I would very much like to be able to understand what my cat is asking for when it meows, or when he meows at me, because he does try to speak, and it seems like he has different intonations based on what he's looking for, if he wants to play or to get a snack. Sometimes you can sort of tell, like if he wants to go inside of something, he'll sit there and look at it, or he'll meow if he wants to go into the balcony, but you can never really be sure. So being able to understand what the cat is saying would be nice. I've visited most of the major cities in Italy and Sicily at this point, but overall my favorite city has been Florence. Not only for the architecture, but for the history and for all of the things that you can see, as opposed to Milan is quite a bit different. Even for like the atmosphere of the city, it doesn't really have that historic feeling that Florence has.